I am Cathy Randall, Director Emerita of the Computer-Based Honors Program, now called the RRS Program, in the Honors College at the University of Alabama.
That was wonderful.
Roll Tide. As a junior in high school, I was called to the classroom of this student teacher that we'd all heard so much about. I didn't have her as a teacher, but the word was just she was amazing. She had just graduated or was just graduating from Auburn University, and I was called to her classroom. I thought, oh no, what have I done? And I walked in and she said, you are going to represent this high school at Girl State and you're going to run for governor. Now when I tell you who this is, you will know why I said, yes ma'am. It's Governor Kay Ivey. You don't say anything but yes ma'am to Kay Ivey. I got to Girl State, she was my counselor. And ever since then, we have had this friendship for which I am just enormously grateful. It has blessed my life for decades. She has been a mentor to me, from telling me to run for Girl State, for making it possible. I'm convinced she made it possible behind the scenes for me to go to Girls Nation. But the network of women who are committed to excellence, who are committed to citizenship, to paying back this country that has given so much to us, it was just a turning point in my life, and I will be so grateful to the American Legion Auxiliary all my life for the opportunity to participate in that program. And then I got a brochure inviting me to apply to the Computer-Based Honors Program at the University of Alabama. And I came, fell in love with the place, somehow was lucky enough to be chosen to participate in the program.
I am Jane Batson, and I am the program coordinator for the Randall Research Scholars Program. I first met Dr. Randall in 1978 when she became the interim director for the Computer-Based Honors Program, which is what our program used to be called. In 1968, undergraduate research was not really considered. And so Dr. Seebeck, the founder of our program, actually started received a National Science Foundation grant to start this program where students were brought in and they were taught how to use a computer and to go out and do research with professors. And so on this campus, before faculty didn't use undergraduates in their research. And so for 50 years, before we became Randall, and before there was an office, our Office of Undergraduate Research here on campus is fairly young. Our students were doing research. We were the first university-wide research program for undergraduates in the nation. And so now the University of Alabama is known as a university that is undergraduate research friendly. I remember telling our former vice president of research, I told him, I said, you do realize that it's because of the Computer-Based Honors Program starting that many years ago and faculty becoming used to using and realizing the value of undergraduates. We have so many smart, brilliant students here on this campus. And so I'd say our biggest thing is we're 56 years old now, 55 this year, and we'll soon to be 56 years old, is the impact that we've had on the fact that we've helped build undergraduate research as a thing here on campus.
I was in the first class. There were 10 scholarship winners. Half of those were women. This is in the computer field. And when we got here, it was only mainframes. I don't know if you've even heard about mainframes, but these enormous, it took up half the floor, the first floor of Carmichael Hall. In order for it to run with any kind of speed, we had to dump everything to tape. That was the expression. In other words, empty the memory every night so that, because otherwise it would just practically stop. It would grind to a halt. What that meant was that the fastest time was in the middle of the night after they dumped everything to tape. In the late 60s, all women, and everyone had to live on campus, but all women had to be in their dorms on weeknights, locked in by 9 o'clock. Those were the rules back then. The University of Alabama gave me a key to my dormitory so that I could work when the machine was working the fastest, so I could get my work done at a much higher rate of speed, and then could come back and get into the dormitory and go to sleep. But y'all, that's really extraordinary. And the university has been like that time after time after time. That's just one example of the university is going to break down obstacles to students who are striving for excellence. They will break down those barriers. There have to be rules for such a huge student body, even the size when I was on campus. But for students who are striving for excellence, this university will do whatever it can to support, facilitate, and encourage that kind of excellence. So that was part of the wonderful things that happened with the computer-based honors program. What an opportunity to learn in the late 60s this brand new technology, to become proficient in it, and particularly in such a male-dominated field. And then the remaining 3 years, we chose, and the students continue to choose, research projects in their major field of study on which to serve as a research assistant. Undergraduate research was not encouraged in higher education. I was a political science major first. And a political science professor was trying to do cluster analysis to see if he could identify a block of legislators, both senators and members of the House of Representatives, in the Alabama legislature who consistently voted with the governor. And not by reading news articles, but getting the votes and let cluster analysis analyze and see, were the same people voting the same way all the time. It was fascinating, Camilla. It was absolutely fascinating. And we did discover that there was a governor factor in the Alabama legislature. Intuitively, we knew that because the governor was so powerful. But it was wonderful to be able to prove it analytically. In the late 70s, the director of the computer-based honors program got an EPA grant to leave for 2 years. The directorship of that program is half-time. In the 70s, universities could not compete for people with computer expertise because industry was just offering whatever it took. There were so few people with computer expertise back then. So in desperation, because they were looking for a director, a half-time job that would end in 2 years, of someone with some computer expertise, they were desperate. The university was just desperate. And so they reached out to me, and I'm grateful for the rest of my life for that opportunity.
So she was the director of this program for 25 years. And then about 2017, 16 and 17, our students' online courses in computing became a fact. And so the name Computer-Based Honors, people started thinking that it was an online computer program. And so our students were like, wait, no, they don't understand we're a research program. And so we have a listserv, a discussion listserv that includes our alumni and our current students. And so this discussion started on the listserv about renaming the program. And so many of our alumni and students who, you know, if you're a director for a program for 25 years, I mean, she was our longest tenured director. she had such an impact on so many lives. The students started saying, "We need to name the program after Dr. Randall. We need to name the program after Dr. Randall." That should tell you right there that the students, the kind of impact she made on their lives, that they would want to name the program after her. And so in 2018, her family, her children, wanted to do something to honor their mother. And she thought of our program. And she said, "I want to do something for computer-based honors." Now, I don't think she actually meant for our program to be renamed Randall Research Scholars Program, the Catherine J. Randall Research Scholars Program. But they did. They endowed our program and in honor of their mother. And our whole family, and we call ourselves a family, alumni and current students, our whole family was just so excited. And it coincided with our 50th anniversary. And so not only did we get to celebrate 50 years of computer-based honors, but that same year in 2018, that fall, we became the Randall Research Scholars Program.
There were only 3 girls in our family, and this was growing up, you know, in an era, in a pre-feminist era. And I think that my parents would have raised us in the following way, even if we'd had brothers. But I've always attributed it to the fact that we didn't have brothers. I have no concept of what a glass ceiling is. None whatsoever. Our parents told us we could do anything so long as we worked hard, so long as we be excellent, be good, be grateful, and be ready. So long as we did that, there was no glass ceiling to shatter. We could soar. And because there were so few opportunities professionally for women when I was coming along, my mentors were enlightened men. Dr. David Matthews, who was president of the university when I came here, Governor Albert Brewer, Senator John Sparkman. These were men who decided it's time for us to give women opportunities. And they really reached out and, as I look back on it, took a risk on me and took a risk on other women of my era to give us opportunities. And I will be forever indebted to those individuals for the mentorship experience. And as a result of that, I have tried so hard the rest of my life to give back as they gave back to me.
So when I came back to work with her full-time in 2004, I watched her again just continue to give to our students in the program and to just make these incredible connections and to write the most amazing recommendation letters. She has always remained involved with the program and been an active alumni of our program. And so even today, she is still connecting students to people and places and organizations, helping them reach their goals. She's very humble, and yet she has made such an impact on so many lives. And it's because she's such a caring person. And so, that's what I would, I think that's what her legacy is that by being kind and caring and truly investing in others, whether you mean to or not, you make a name for yourself. And that's what she's done. She has incredibly changed people's lives. I know she made a huge difference in mine when I got to know her as my interim director of the program when I was in it. And we have become fast friends. And I think that's what a lot of people would tell you.
The best advice I can give any student is to be excellent, to be ready, to be grateful, and to be good. To be excellent. Do those things that your parents, your grandparents, your family, your teachers have told you from the beginning of time. Put everything you've got into your assignments. be it class assignments, professional assignments. Be the best that you can be. The investment will pay off in ways you cannot possibly imagine. One, because of the short-term benefit of succeeding in the assignment that you've been given, but then in the development of the habit of excellence, not just the substance of excellence, but the process of excellence. The next thing is to be ready. People are going to provide opportunities for you. I have been blessed beyond measure at those opportunities, and at every step along the way I thought, there is no way I can do this. I am not qualified. But thankfully, I said yes. I trusted the person who invited me, who gave me the opportunity. I trusted them enough that they saw something that made them think I could be of some value. And so say yes. When people ask, say yes. Constantly be grateful. Every night before you go to bed, look back at the opportunities that you have been given, the gifts that you've been given, the blessings that you have been given all day and all evening long, and be grateful. I encourage you to express that gratitude. I believe that the reason the governor and I became friends when I was 17 is I wrote her a thank you note after Girls' Day for being my counselor. That doesn't happen very often, I am told. But the expression of gratitude made a connection that has developed into a friendship of over 50 years that has benefited me enormously from her mentorship. So be grateful. If for no other reason then that's the source of your happiness. If you are grateful, you will be happy, you will know joy. And then be good. Again, you have been told that since birth by your families, but when given the opportunity to make a decision, do what is good. And giving back, constantly giving back, being a channel of these blessings for which you're grateful is a great source of joy. So that's what I would encourage anybody to do. Be excellent, be ready, be grateful, and be good.